All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone. Shalom to the Akim and a few Akwat who may be listening. This is your brother Batak Allah from the GMS camp here in Chicago. Coming back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. Salakia, but the inspiration for this lesson, I was watching Apostle Gabar's channel. He was doing a video talking about visualization in this truth. And in the video towards the end, the whole video is very good though. Watch the whole video. But towards the end of the video, he spoke on how, faith and visualization go hand in hand, with this truth, man. And in this truth, because we have to be able to visualize, all the things that were promised. We got to be able to visualize ourselves as somebody that's going to endure to the end. We got to be able to visualize, that the Lord is not going to forsake us as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do. And, that's just a couple of the points that the apostle mentioned in the video. Like I said, very good video. Jake should go watch it. But I'm just going to get a couple precepts and, Lord willing, close it out. Lord willing, this is edifying. But this is Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right. So, the Lord has left us these scriptures, from our past generations. And these accounts from our past generations, all this wisdom, spiritual and, first, of course, it's all spiritual, but, these things apply to every aspect of life, not just the spiritual aspect of life. I mean, the spirit is in everything, but, even people that's wicked use this because it's real knowledge. It's real. All of these things are really the rules that govern this world and this reality. All right. And that's something that you got to be able to visualize and understand and believe. OK, but really, because, all these wicked people, they do what they want. The Lord going to jack them up. All right. But really, we have to look at the way that our forefathers conducted themselves, both the righteous and the wicked. All right. Because the Lord gives us examples of men who were able to visualize, what they were supposed to do. They was able to visualize Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They was able to visualize the scriptures that they had and the knowledge that they were given. And that led to them having faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it also shows, the scriptures also show individuals that couldn't do that. All right, that didn't have the ability to visualize. And it shows you the reward of those who didn't have the ability to visualize. And it tells you the ultimate reward of those who can visualize and those who can't visualize when Yahweh Shai returns to destroy this present temporal evil world, as the elder Yah would say. All right. This is verse 11. For Yahweh is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. All right. And you have to be able to believe that and visualize that the Lord is because we've all been wicked. We've all done wickedly. Very few of us was born into this truth. And even if you are born into this truth, you still make mistakes and transgress the laws of the Lord. All right. Because we're in this flesh. All right. But you have to be able to visualize the Lord forgiving you. All right. The elder Uriah says it all the time. If you can't forgive yourself, if you don't believe that you're worthy of being forgiven, what makes you think the Lord is going to forgive you? All right. You can't even forgive yourself. You think the Lord going to forgive you? The answer is no. All right. So you have to be able to understand that, yes, you did something wrong. You in the flesh. You were ignorant of certain things at a certain point in your life. But you have to believe and visualize the Lord forgiving you. All right. And the Apostle Gabar brought out Apostle Paul in the lesson that he did. And, that's a very good example of a man of the Lord to look at, especially as it pertains to us today, because he was he was somebody who was putting men of the Lord to death at one particular point in his life, working for the Roman government. All right. But Yahushai forgave him, gave him a task. He visualized the task, he visualized the reward, and he completed his task, you know. And the apostle goes into that as well. All right. So, we have to be able to, because we're going through a lot of things right now, and it's very difficult being in this truth, being surrounded by enemies, being surrounded by demons, being plagued by demons on all levels. It's not easy to deal with, all right? But we have to be able to visualize the end goal, the ending reward. And we have to know that no matter how bad things look, no matter how bad things feel, no matter how bad the things are that we have to deal with and go through, that the Lord is not going to forsake us, man. All right. And when we begin to visualize those things, it boosts our faith, and it allows us to continue to go out further and further on a limb, And like the scriptures say that, roughly paraphrasing, that, broad is the way to destruction, but narrow is the path, to salvation, roughly paraphrasing. All right. Salakia. But, and it's just like that's why, they got that phrase, that saying in the world, I'm going out on a limb for you. I'm taking a risk. I'm doing something that's not easy. I'm trusting that you're going to be able to deliver on your end. Okay? I have faith that you're going to be able to deliver on your end. That's what being in this truth is about, man. Because we out on a limb. The scriptures say that, the path is, so narrow that only one man can walk it at a time. And fire is on one side, water is on the other side, and it's an easy place to fall. All right? But we willing to go and walk down that path for salvation, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And Lord willing, we endure to the end and don't fall off. Okay? But all of that comes with visualization, with belief that that the Lord is going to deliver on his end of the deal. All right? This Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. All right, and the point that I wanted to get, from this precept is that, for in his heart, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So when we, the way that we think, what we believe, what we can visualize, what we can have faith in, is a direct reflection of what we are and who we are. All right. And how far we're going to go for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And it's not easy, as mentioned. All right. It's the most difficult thing to do, on this earth right now. And in the times of old as well. All of the men of the Lord wasn't living pretty and comfortable lives, like the way that these fucking these wicked people live, man. Where they just live in plush and they don't have to deal with no problems. Everything always goes their way, and if it don't, they fix the game and rig the game so it does. The men of the Lord don't have, so many testimonies like that where things is just peachy keen and hunky dory, man. The men of the Lord was going through trials and tribulations and going through strife in order to gain this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 11, and then, get a couple precepts from there and then close it out, Lord willing. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. All right, so, our faith, we have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and, the Lord has it set up to where you have to have faith in order to make it, because none of us have physically seen Yahweh. None of us have physically seen Yahushai. All right, none of us have physically seen, these things, man. All right. But we still have to believe and be able to visualize the truth of these scriptures. All right. None of us have seen somebody with spiritual powers. They got it on movies and shit like that. But as far as, with your own eyes and quote unquote real life, we haven't seen that in this era that we in right now. All right. Now, those of us that are in this truth, we understand that, being able to understand these scriptures and being able to do the work of the Lord with the 100% truth is spiritual power in and of itself. But when I say we haven't seen spiritual powers, I mean we haven't seen nobody flying around like Superman, all right, lifting up tanks and doing things of that nature, all right. But we visualize those things. We know that the Lord is going to do those things and grant those blessings to his men when the time comes. All right. We know Yahweh Shai is going to crack the skies and destroy this place. We visualize that. We see it. All right. When we read these scriptures, we see those things. All right. It says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. All right. And you see, you got all of these people. The whole idea and mentality of this world is to get you to not understand that the Lord created all of these things. All right. They'll teach you about evolution, which is bullshit, and all these other philosophies and ideologies, like the Elder Yak says. And guess what? All of it is bullshit. But these people these people will visualize things like that and believe things like that, but won't be able to visualize the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But it's because the Lord is not here to deal with everybody. All right. A lot of these people are going to get dealt with in a harsh way. All right. With thermonuclear fire. The Lord ain't dealing with everybody on the level that he's dealing with his elect. All right. And Lord willing, we'll be at that number. Okay. But I'm going to jump down. Salaki, I'm going to go to 4 real quick and then I'm going to go down. Pause. This Hebrews 11:4. By faith Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying for his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. All right. So we're giving 2 examples here. Abel, he was able to visualize. He had faith. He believed that the Lord said to do a certain thing, and I'm going to do this certain thing, even if it inconveniences me to do it, and I'm going to be rewarded for that. All right. Cain had a different mentality. Cain wanted to give the Lord whatever he felt like he wanted to give him. All right. And something that was of less value, something that wasn't as important, something that didn't inconvenience him as much as what the Lord required. All right. And see, he couldn't visualize the things that the Lord could give him and the things that the Lord would reward him for doing what he was supposed to do. All right. He was only worried about right now and what he could see. And that's not gonna get the job done, man. You got to be able to visualize things that are far off and know and believe that the Lord is going to deliver on those promises that he made, man. All right. Jump down to verse 7. This is by faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. All right. So Noah was living at a time where none of the people on the earth was concerned about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. The Lord showed Noah that the world was going to be destroyed by water. It was going to rain and all of these things. And it never rained up to that point in history. So Noah's telling these people that it's going to rain, water is going to fall from the sky, shoot up from the earth, and flood and destroy everything. Telling these people to repent. They don't want to listen. Noah's building an ark. These people are laughing at him. He did this for, over 100 years, man. Preaching to these wicked ass people, man. All right. And guess what? The only people that was saved was him and his family. All right. Him, his wife, and his 3 sons and their wives. All right. 8 people. That's it. Everybody else, they couldn't visualize what Noah was telling them. They couldn't believe it. All right. So they continued on in their wickedness all the way up until the day that Noah went into the ark and the Lord destroyed their ass, man. All right. And that's what it is. All right. Verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. All right, so the Lord told him go to leave where he was at. Separate yourself from these people that you around. Separate yourself from your family. All right, go here. He didn't know what was over there. He didn't know what was he was gonna have to deal with on the journey or whatever calamities could have happened. He didn't know what was gonna happen. The Lord told him to do something, and he visualized and believed that the Lord was gonna bless him, and that the Lord was not gonna forsake him when he did those things, and he did it. All right. It says, Salakia. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. All right. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh. All right. So, you know, he was worried about, what was coming, what was far off. It wasn't there at that point in time. The Lord hadn't established his city yet. He hadn't established, and given the promise, of the inheritance that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would receive, man. And we still are waiting on that, man. Faithfully. All right. And we at the end. See, we lucky that we at the end, man. We lucky that, we are going out on a limb. We're being faithful. We're believing in the things that we are visualizing through these scriptures. And it's going to pay off soon, man. It's going to pay off in this lifetime. And I'm not talking about in 50 years. Lord willing, man. All right. That's a blessing. Our forefather Abraham had faith and went out on a limb for things that was thousands of years away, man. All right. And it's the same thing for all of the men of the Lord of old, leading all the way up to this point, man. Making sacrifices for things that was not to come in their lifetime, but didn't care. Still knew that the Lord was going to keep his word. Still could picture and visualize the things that the Lord said he was going to do. And that moved them to operate a certain way. This is I'm gonna just jump down, pause. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna read 11. This is Hebrews 11:11. There, through faith, also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. All right. So she wasn't able to even have kids at the age that she had conceived Isaac, man. She was past her age of reproduction. I believe they refer to that as menopause in the modern times, But the Lord, she had faith. She visualized and believed what the Lord showed her. And the Lord blessed when, her faith was rewarded. All right. Verse 13. And that faith led to us being here today. All of these faithful acts that are being listed here is what led to us being right here, right now, able to receive this truth, man. All right. It's a domino effect of having faith, of having vision. All right. That's why the scriptures say we enter into other men's labors. All right. This ain't something that we just popped up and we did it, man. This is something that has been built all the way from the beginning up to this point, man. All right. And like I said, we are lucky that we are able to be here and be in the mix and up for consideration, to be one of the elect at the culmination of things, man. This is the culmination of the story. This is about to be the climax of the story. All right. And the Lord has blessed us with an opportunity to be a part of his army, a part of his men, a part of his elect, man. All right. But we got to be able to see it. These people in the world can't see this place ending, man. These people in the world can't see Yahushua coming back and destroying this place. These people in the world can't see Yahushua as somebody that hates, has anger, is willing to put people to death. They think that Yahushua is like JC and just love everybody and is going to forgive everybody of everything they ever did. And you can just keep being wicked, and all you got to do is say I'm sorry, and Yahushua and Yahweh are going to forgive you, and then you can keep being wicked some more. This is what these people visualize. They don't visualize the truth of the scriptures, man. And that's why they're going to get destroyed. All right? But this verse 13, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. All right, that's that visualization. All right, all of the men of old, they put their work in and didn't receive the end of the promise in that lifetime, man. All right, now, of course, doing the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and being a man of the Lord comes with rewards. I'm not saying that, that they lived horrible lives. I mean, we all go through trials and tribulations and situations, but it's rewards that come with serving the Lord. But the ultimate reward of salvation, the ultimate reward of being of the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai hasn't come yet, man. All right. Now we coming in, we're close to that time, like I said, but you got to think about it. These men was alive some thousands of years ago, some, multiple, like over 1,000 years, You talk about, because Yahweh Shai was alive 2,000 years ago. And then you talk about all of these prophets that came prior to the birth of Yahweh Shai. This is 2,000 plus years ago, man. 3,000 plus years ago, man. All right. And they was putting in work and doing what they had to do for something that they wasn't going to receive in that lifetime. But it didn't matter. They visualized it. They was convinced. And they knew that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to deliver on his time. And that all we got to do is do what we are required to do when we are in this flesh, man. And that's what they did. All right. And that's what we hoping to do. All right. But with that being said, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone. Shalom to the Akim and a few Agwat who may be listening. Lord willing, it's edifying lesson. Until next time, Kwam Yasharal and Ababa.